Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I will be painting another fall painting, and I think this one is quite fun and simple, and I hope you will enjoy it. Also, there are many more on my channel, so go ahead and check them out. Today we'll be sketching together, so you will be needing a paper, pencil, eraser, and the paper I will be using is Clairefontaine Fontaine watercolor paper, 8 by 24 centimeters, and it's 100% cotton watercolor paper. So first thing I'm gonna do is measure my paper before starting the sketch. That is how I usually start my sketch, and I did mark how big my paper is, but this time I did not include the washi tape. So if you're gonna use a washi tape, you should definitely first put a washi tape on and then start your sketch, because later on you will see when I added that washi tape, the sketch was too big, and I did decide to not to place it in the middle, the umbrella and the girl. But you know, if you want to be precise, just first put the washi tape and then later on measure the size of your paper that you're gonna paint on. I started with drawing this, I don't know, that's not really a circle, it's like pressed circle and somewhat like an oval to paint in the umbrella. And then I placed the center of the umbrella where it is, and then started to draw the parts of that umbrella. But you know, you can first, when you do that, when you put the center in, you can measure and put the little dots on the edges of your circle just to know where your lines are gonna go for the umbrella if you're gonna sketch it yourself. As always, I will be putting the link in the description box for this sketch, so you can of course download it also for yourself if you don't want to sketch it. But I think this is a quite simple sketch, so why not just give it a try. So first an oval, and then we are adding those parts of the umbrella, and you can see I'm not even trying to make it perfect. It's not really perfect, but it doesn't matter. So what? It is it is what it is, right? And right now I'm just drawing the waist of my girl and then her skirt. And then I decided that I noticed that her body would be absolutely too long looking the umbrella, and her head would be sticking out if it was like it was in the first. So I've just made that skirt and her waist just a little bit thinner and smaller, and then added also a couple of trees around her, and I'm gonna paint them just going towards the middle, from the side going towards the middle, like it's going over her. And this is just quite, you know, sketchy sketch, not really trying to draw anything particular, just placing those trees and those branches here and there just to see the composition and how at the end it will all look. When I finished with my sketch, that is the point where I'm putting the washi tape, and you will see later on that the sketch was actually too big for my paper. I usually do put a washi tape, but I thought to do it without. Then I decided I'm gonna use washi tape anyway, so my sketch was just a little bit too big. And I'm using graphite paper to trace the sketch onto watercolor paper, so just always when you do that, just put that tape also on your paper just to make it steady, because if your drawing moves, your sketch moves, well, you know, you cannot never put it in the same place again. And when I trace it, I'm just using artist eraser to pick up the excess graphite. Afterwards, I've mixed some ultramarine and sepia to paint in the background, and this is just some grayish color. I've added just a little bit of sepia right now and painting the lower part. I'm not trying to paint anything particular, just adding the color to the background. It will all mesh and blend at the end when it dries. Right now I'm picking up some neutral black because I want the lower part to be a little bit darker, and painting in the darker part in those straight lines going upwards just to, make the impression there are maybe some trees also further away, and when it dries, as I said, that will all somewhat blend. I've added also a couple of sprinkles with just clean water. And when it all dried completely, I'm using this smaller round brush to paint in the trees that will be further away from us, and I'm using very, very light neutral black. It's very, very diluted, just a little bit paint, a lot more water than paint, and going towards us, the trees are going to be a little bit darker, so I'm picking up just a little bit more of the paint and a little bit less water in my brush, and painting in the trees and the branches that are near to us. And as I said when I was making my sketch, they are all going over our girl, so from the sides going over to our girl. Just a couple of thinner lines I'm making with script brush, and also being careful that those lines that are on the trees further away, they should be lighter, and those that are near to us and on the trees that are darker should be also darker. Right now with a neutral black, I'm painting in the skirt and the waist of my girl, and I'm gonna paint it quite dark. I think that will be the darkest neutral black on my painting. Also a couple of sprinkles just for some maybe leaves that are left on our trees. Umbrella I'm gonna paint with golden and cadmium red light, and also just a little bit of cadmium yellow medium. And the first layer from my umbrella I will paint all in one same wash using mix of those colors. The lower part of the umbrella I will be painting a little bit darker, so I will be adding here and there just a little bit of the paint. I've added just a little bit more of cadmium red light into my mix, and painting in that lower part that I said will be just a little bit darker because that part is actually in shadow. And I painted recently bookmarks that I'm not sure if you've seen this video. If you haven't, you can of course go to my channel and find them. It's a Halloween bookmarks, and I actually used that mix of orange and black, and it was perfect, and I just love that mix, so I've decided to paint this painting also with same colors. And I think that orange just pops so beautiful with that neutral black with black, and also blacks pops out. It gets this beautiful vibrancy, so I thought, why not, I'm gonna do the same combination of colors again, and I actually like how it turned out. So right now I'm just adding on the edges where those borders between the parts of the umbrella are just a little bit darker color. I've mixed in that golden and cadmium red light just a little bit of green, that is actually opposite color in color wheel to red, so it does give it this darker tint, and I decided to use that to make it just a little bit darker and paint in that parts that are shadow. Also adding one more layer of black to the skirt, because you can paint it as dark as you like. If you wanted to leave it just a little bit lighter, that's fine. Also for the umbrella, if you wanted to leave it lighter, that is fine. I did want it to be quite vibrant, so right now I'm adding some cadmium yellow medium to the entire umbrella, so that part that is lighter will now receive a little bit more of that yellow, and the part that was darker, that yellow will be just a little bit less visible. And right now again adding a little bit of red, cadmium red light. I left it to dry completely, and afterwards with this little detail brush I will be painting darkest shadows, and I decided also to do those lines between the parts of the umbrella with that neutral black. And you know, that is not something you should do. You should definitely not do that if you don't like it. I did like how it turned out at the end. I did want it to be a little bit darker, and then I'm just with that neutral black smudging it slightly also from on the side from that line. As I said, you can absolutely skip this part and use maybe darker red to paint in that shadows, but I did like how it turned out, and I did wanted to add that black. You can also do doodles here and use some ink pen to paint in the borders of the umbrella. That's also fine. I was also thinking about that, but then at the end I decided not to do that. And also a couple of sprinkles with that cadmium red light. And one more thing I will be adding when it dried, this is not dry completely. This is actually just a little bit slightly wet because that white gouache meshed in also with the colors. So I've added it till the paint is still slightly wet, not very wet, but just slightly wet. And I've added that highlights with white gouache here and there, also a couple of sprinkles. And with that, I'll be finishing off this painting and this video. Thank you guys a lot for watching. I hope you liked it. If you do, please hit the like button, share it, comment. And I think this is quite easy. You can see it's quite easy. Maybe you should give it a shot. Quite effective and very nice, maybe for a card. I think that's a perfect thing also, or for a fall gift for someone. And you know, if you haven't still, please subscribe to my channel. That would really mean a lot to me. And maybe if you want to go even a step further, consider joining my channel. Press the join button next to the subscribe, listen to the offer, and decide whether or not you want to join. And again, guys, thank you so much for watching, for all your support, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye!